The government could spend less and switch back to a gold standard if they wanted to slow down the spread of Bitcoin. That wouldn't stop Bitcoin from winning, it would just do so more slowly. So the rate at which this is changing is entirely due to the currency being destroyed and devalued. And I really believe that Bitcoin is the exact opposite of government money. It is the best way to say it. Open a Bitcoin chart to see how bad paper money is. Do not check the CPI. Bitcoin is getting more and more attention around the world as more than just a speculative object as its price keeps going up. It's becoming an important thing for people who want to be financially stable in difficult times. More and more people and businesses are starting to pay attention to Bitcoin as a way to protect against economic uncertainty as its price goes up. Why is this protest happening? And a general lack of trust in old-fashioned financial processes. In a powerful interview with Dylan Leclerc, Jack Mallers talks about how Bitcoin is changing the way money works, not just riding a wave of fame. As the price of Bitcoin goes up, it becomes even more clear that it is a new kind of money. Unlike government currencies, which can be inflated because they can be used by anyone, Bitcoin's limited quantity of 21 million coins makes it even more valuable by making it hard to get. More and more people are turning to Bitcoin because they see it as a safe way to store value that will hold up even when the government makes money unstable. Read more about Jack Mallers' point of view and listen to what he had to say to Dylan Leclerc in the discussion linked below. Set up alerts to get more in-depth articles about the future of business. Have fun with the movie. A cheeseburger is also a market good, just like an aeroplane. You buy an aeroplane to fly, a cheeseburger to eat, and money to save and trade later. This is the technology that lets us work hard today and make progress tomorrow. That's all there is to it. People on Wall Street and people at the cypherpunk manifestos in San Francisco both need that technology. Being permissionless means that no one can stop anyone from using it. Because of this, I think that if you're a person who needs to store your time and energy and trade it for things, you'll naturally use Bitcoin. In that way, I think it's unavoidable. Also, I believe that people who feel threatened by Wall Street, there are many complex reasons why we should be grateful to Satoshi Nakamoto. A really cool thing about Bitcoin is how Satoshi created it. I'm going to say that in that way, Satoshi Nakamoto did not take Bitcoin to Goldman Sachs to go public. Satoshi Nakamoto didn't put it on the New York Stock Exchange. It wasn't put on Product Hunt by Satoshi Nakamoto. He posted it on an email list and then let it slip. So Bitcoin belongs to all of us, the people. A lot more than half of the gold in the world is owned by states and central banks. I believe that only 4% of Bitcoin is owned by states. You have Michael Saylor, who is borrowing as much money as a person could ever borrow. This person owes a lot of money and is trying to get as much Bitcoin as possible, but he's only got 1% so far. Because Bitcoin isn't centralized, Satoshi could have gone to Goldman Sachs and said, hey, I made a really cool money. I want you guys to help me take it public. It's likely that our stock is more concentrated. The fact that you can keep it in your mind that it doesn't weigh anything, that it's available all over the world, and that it's spread through mining, energy, and a mailing list leak, there's no danger. I mean, Larry Fink can work really hard and only get maybe 5 to 10%, which isn't even close to enough to matter. To control an asset class and keep its price low, you need to own most of it. As a result, we all have it. Satoshi, I think that genius is lost on many. We were able to get Bitcoin to enough people in a way that keeps us safe. Yes, Wall Street would like to buy it. Hey there, welcome to the... I was going to swear. Thanks for coming to the party. According to Jack Mallers, Bitcoin is a new kind of money that can be used to keep and trade time, energy, and effort. Bitcoin is different from traditional assets because it is a universal, permissionless technology that can be used by anyone without permission from a central authority. This makes it safe and private. He praises Satoshi Nakamoto's decentralized launch, which gave regular people power and stopped corporations or state banks from controlling it. Mahler sees Bitcoin as a defense against currency debasement, which would speed up uptake as governments devalue their currencies. This is different from gold, which is mostly controlled by governments. Mahler says that Bitcoin's growth can't be stopped, even though cutting government spending or going back to the gold standard might slow it down. He sees El Salvador's use of Bitcoin as a key step towards freeing money from government control. He thinks that the US could follow suit, which would give Bitcoin even more legitimacy on a global level. Let's watch more clips from the talk to learn more about what Jack Mallers said. When it comes to debasement, I think Bitcoin is the best example. Bitcoin is a mix of technology and traditional money. That's why I believe a big part of the rise is due to the ending of fiat money. This is the amount of shortfalls in the debt spiral I think we're already in. That I think is the net catalyst or the catalyst in general. The government could spend less and switch back to a gold standard if they wanted to slow down the spread of Bitcoin. That wouldn't stop Bitcoin from winning, it would just do so more slowly. So the rate at which this is changing is entirely due to the currency being destroyed and devalued. It is the exact opposite of paper money. It is the best way to say it. Open a Bitcoin chart to see how bad paper money is. Do not check the CPI, that's like on the web. The fact that a nation state or country cut ties with the people money was a big deal in El Salvador. That's what I think about it and what I find interesting about America. What Bitcoin does is truly separate money in the state. That's why I think a lot of us here are interested in it. And really, money is just our time and energy set aside in a different way. I talk about how hard people work or labor. It's like we all get up and do things for money. When the government lowers the value of our money, they are also lowering the value of you. Not the money itself, but everything you do, all your time and all your energy. If everything works perfectly, your money should show how much you've contributed to society. That's why El Salvador said we don't want to have any say in that relationship, we want it to be up to the free market. I feel like the US government is putting me down when they debase the dollar, as well as all the time, energy, effort, and work I've put into getting these bucks. Also, the fact that El Salvador did that was a huge step forward. It was true that they couldn't print their own money though. During their own civil war, they lost their own money. They had $1. But I think the next big step would be for a government that can print money and debase it and uses as a central bank to control and manipulate people's time, energy, effort, and labor to be able to buy Bitcoin and recognize it. Not as legal currency, but just as something that the government owns and accepts. That would be a huge deal. And I think the United States is most likely to be able to do that because they have the world's main currency. Like the US is like broke, like we just issued debt.